The highly anticipated Operation Airnote, or OPAN for short, has gone live in its first ever beta release, with over 12 Airnotes being sold in the first 24 hours. As a part of today's video, I want to break down all the details surrounding OPAN and how you can join the sharing economy. What's up, Beta Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As a part of today's video, I'm excited to share with you guys the fact that OPAN, or Operation Airnote, has officially gone live for the World Mobile Project. In addition, we have the team representing themselves at Mobile World Congress taking place in Barcelona for 2024. We did see this team attending this particular event last year, and since then, so much has changed, especially when it comes to their first ever Aerostat launch in Mozambique. So without any further ado, let's just jump right on in here. We have Mickey Watkins, the founder of World Mobile, sitting and bringing more clarity surrounding some of their innovations and some of their accomplishments with members representing IBM and Unmanned Life. I believe that this will be going on for a couple more days here, but it is really good to see Mickey and the rest of the World Mobile team attending and representing, the Web3 community at an event which has historically been Web2 specific. Jumping over, we have the team also being awarded an award. So it states here, today at Mobile World Congress 2024, we were honored to receive the GMSA Foundry's Excellence Award for our record-breaking Aerostat launch in Mozambique. I'm not sure if you guys missed this, but if you did, make sure to go ahead and check it out. The World Mobile team has a really nice video put together. It's about 45 minutes interviewing all the members from the team, which were able to contribute to their first ever Aerostat launch in Mozambique. Not only was this a huge achievement for World Mobile, it was also a huge achievement for just the continent of Africa, with the first ever Aerostat going up live. So the World Mobile team being recognized for such a huge contribution when it comes to that. Jumping over here, we have a picture or a glimpse of the actual awards. As you guys can see, not many, with hundreds, if not more, in attendance. So it really goes to show that World Mobile has done enough to stand out amongst its crowd of teleco peers. Now, as a part of today's video, like I mentioned earlier, the focus is surrounding Operation Airnote, or OPAN. This will be a way to facilitate Airnote sales across different regions in the United States and even outside the US, for allowing the community to finally be able to participate in this global sharing economy. So we saw the release of OPAN, or at least the website, being done yesterday early on, in which we saw the first ever batch of Airnotes going out to the community. If I'm not mistaken, in this early version, there were 20 Airnotes which were put out. I believe as it stands right now, 11 of those have already sold, with 9 remaining. Now I'm going to take you guys through the entire process of how you guys can actually get access to the website and how you can actually begin to find out more about those Airnotes themselves. Before I do that though, I want to quickly play this video really highlighting what the World Mobile team has been doing and exactly what kind of impact they've made here in the telco space.
We're bringing tether balloons, wireless mesh, a new dynamic mobile network, and you're bringing them all together into this new way of doing things. Nobody's done it before.
How exciting is that to finally see? Let me know what you guys think down below. I know the team has been working extremely hard and relentlessly for months on end to finally make this happen. So the fact that we now have the beta, which of course keep in mind is just that, a beta, that means that we could see additional enhancements coming out once this finally hits the general public as a finished or finalized product. If you guys want to find out more about OPAN, and if you want to go ahead and actually purchase an Airnote, you can head over to airnote.worldmobile.io. It states here, connectivity redefined. Again, you can become an Airnote operator, a host, or you can become a host/operator. Now keep in mind that throughout this entire process, you will be rewarded depending on how you're coming in and what you're providing to the World Mobile ecosystem. As it stands right now, they do provide access to 3 types of radios, 2 of them being CBRS specific, which stands for Citizens Broadband Radio Service. They've also got a much bigger coverage area, which is supported by the Titans, which operates on WMS, or the World Mobile Spectrum. Here we've got a brief glimpse of the user interface. Scrolling down, let's see here, we should have a little bit more surrounding the connectivity problems and the World Mobile solution. At the top there, you guys can see that it states that there are 9 remaining. So we've seen the sale of 11 of these already. That piece right there breaks down the current problem with networks and how we can expect for telecoms to play a bigger role moving forward. We've got a highlight here surrounding dead zones. Again, keep in mind the Swiss cheese problem, which means that with the current infrastructure, there are these gaps which can be filled by something like World Mobile. Last but not least, there's a highlight here of the World Mobile solution, of course, bringing the sharing economy to the global masses. Now, at the very bottom of the page here, what I really like is the fact that the team has taken the time to put together an earnings calculator. Keep in mind, guys, that this is not the end-all be-all. Once you actually have your AirNode deployed, whether that's utilizing CBRS or the WMS, these numbers could vary, but it's really good and reassuring to see that the team has taken the time to provide the community with as much transparency surrounding how profitable and the potential revenue that they could earn by operating or running an AirNode. So as you guys can see right now, with 67 subscribers, hosting one of the smaller CBRS radios, you could earn $201 per month. As I actually shift this over here, you'll notice that the number of subscribers begins to grow. So again, this is why it's so important to pick an area where you're gonna get a lot of either foot traffic or even just people driving by in that area for you to be able to get, number one, more subscribers, but then to also process more data, which I believe in turn increases your potential earnings or revenue. If I jump over to an operator here, you can see that's a little bit more lucrative to be an operator. Now, it does take about right now 6 months, depending on the number of subscribers that I have, in order for me to pay back the initial investment, which is really, really reassuring to hear. So again, with something like this, you are taking a pretty big hit up front, because these radios do cost anywhere from about $9,000 all the way to $100,000, right? So it is expensive equipment, but the more foot traffic you're able to get, or the more subscription that you're able to get in your particular area, the faster you're able to pay back that, but then also begin to earn on top of that, making you more profitable. Very lastly, if I jump down here, I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna select the Titan here, which I think provides the most lucrative opportunity. And if I crank this all the way up to the top here, and if I jump over to a host/operator, which means that I'm hosting and operating all in one, you're able to earn all the way up to $9,700 per month. Now, that's with a total of 600 subscribers with a payback period of 11 months. Again, just wanted to show this off here. It's not the end of the world, but do keep that in mind that these numbers are not final. Now, let's jump into the actual map itself. So if you open up the map here, you're able to explore a few things. The first thing I want to highlight is the World Mobile ecosystem. So as soon as this is done reloading here, you can now see the ecosystem, which shows that we have 1,400 AirNodes, 10.5 terabyte being consumed in the last 24 hours, with over 66,000 users and a total network uptime of 624 days. If I jump back and I click on the hosts right here, we have the first ever location being Reno. So as I'm actually shooting this video, we've now seen an additional AirNode being sold. That was just sitting at 9. We now have 8 remaining. I believe the 8 remaining is a combination of either the WMS, which operate again utilizing the Titan, which is a little bit more expensive, or the CBRS radios, which you can get just a single, or you can get 2 facing back to back in order to cover 360 degrees. Now, if I jump back over here, let's take a look at some of the CBRS locations that are available. Again, really highlighting the Reno area. Because CBRS covers a little bit less, if I jump into this a little bit further, you'll notice that the area is actually diminished somewhat. But then if I select again, I can actually highlight and it'll let me know exactly what area I'm going to be covering or providing coverage for. So interesting here, you have the identifier, I guess you could call it, right, for that particular area. As you click on different areas, it lets you know as well. Now you can choose to either host and operate, or just host the AirNode. If I click on this here, this allows me to select whether I want to purchase the CBRS radio, which covers 180 degrees, or I can get 2 of them stuck back to back, which covers 360 degrees. Jumping back over one more time, if I click this time on the WMS locations, or the World Mobile Spectrum locations, again, these are all covering the Reno area, but it is much larger coverage. And we can see that we've already got 2 of them being purchased here in the Reno area, with a few that remain. Again, when you select it, you get a unique identifier up here. And then depending on whether or not you want to host and operate or just host it, you can click on the option that you want there. And then you've got the price associated with that particular AirNode. Now, if you want to find out more about the specs for the actual radios themselves, they do provide these sheets here, which highlight all of the information that you need to know, breaking down the coverage areas, highlighting the different types of frequencies, the different types of power inputs and outputs, right? And then also just breaking down how to deploy, etc. So this is for the CBRS radio, the much smaller radio. Again, breaking down all the key features, exactly how it works, the different sectors associated with it. And then it also breaks down all the radio specs. So that's that there. Jumping over, we have the very same thing, but this is for the bigger Titan. So again, this breaks down everything that you need to know about this particular radio. And that'll do it here for today's video, breaking down Opband and the official release and sale of the first 20 AirNodes going out to the community, in addition to the team attending Mobile World Congress and receiving an award for their Mozambique Aerostat launch. Now, I do want to give you guys a quick reminder that tomorrow on March 2nd, I'll be going live with Manny, who's the lead for their community management, as well as Cardano with Paul and Rob, as well as Cal from Clover Nodes, to highlight everything going on with Opband and just all the projects, or excuse me, all of the progress that has been made by the World Mobile team. So make sure to go ahead and tune in for that. These are extremely helpful, not just for myself, but hopefully for you as well. That'll do it here for today's video. As always, if you did find this to be helpful, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions for me, then make sure to go ahead and leave them down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.